If you're incorporated, how do you take money out of your corporation to pay yourself? I just wanted to dive into the two main options that I see a lot. So some people pay themselves a salary and some people pay themselves through dividends. Now, if you pay yourself through a salary, you're essentially paying yourself as an employee of the corporation. If you pay yourself through dividends, you're paying yourself as a shareholder of the corporation. Now, both of these, they kind of have pros and cons. One's going to give you more of a long-term benefit. The other one's going to give you a little bit more flexibility and freedom. So let's dive into both of these. Okay, so first let's start with salary. So like I said, if you pay yourself a salary, you're essentially an employee for the corporation. So this is going to count as income. So some good things is because it's income, it's going to create RRSP room. Secondly, it's going to build your CPP. And third, it's going to be deductible to your corporation. And fourth, it's going to help with a mortgage because you have income, steady income. Banks like to see that. So if that's something you are looking for, then that would be an advantage as well. Some things to note is that you and your corporation both have to pay into the CPP. If you're at the highest income, I think it's only around like 71K for the year. It'll be around $8,000 that you're going to have to pay CPP. Secondly, payroll. Some people don't like that, makes it a little bit more complicated. And third, you're going to be at a higher personal tax depending how much you make. It can get upwards of 53.5% in BC. So now let's hop over to dividends. So like I said, you're essentially paying yourself as a shareholder of the corporation. So some pros are you're going to be at a lower personal tax rate. There is no CPP. Now, this can be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. It really depends on the person. And third, it's easier. You're not going to have the payroll. Some things to note, there's going to be no RRSP room. So you're not generating any income, so you're not going to be increasing your RRSP room. Secondly, no CPP. Again, it depends how you want to look at it. If that's something that's important to you, that could be a con. And third, it's not deductible to your corporation. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that it's a lower personal tax rate, so it does vary. It's usually around 20 to 38% depending on how much you're making. So these are the two main options that a lot of business owners look at when pulling money out of their corporation. You are able to mix the two together and see what works for you. I just wanted to go through each and explain them. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below or send me a DM.